All right, we're here with Leah Bradley from the Central Massachusetts Housing Alliance. Leah, thank you for joining us this morning. We
Thanks
appreciate
for having
that.
me. Really appreciate it.
So the Central Mass Housing Alliance, really, your main focus mostly is fighting homelessness.
It is. So we're the organization in Worcester County that's designated to end homelessness. And what that means for us is preventing homelessness, stabilizing folks when they're in their housing, and providing shelter services. But mostly what we do is we plan for the whole county to end homelessness, bringing folks together, really looking at what the housing ecosystem looks like and promoting housing production, because right now we don't have enough homes for the number of folks that need them, which a lot of folks are experiencing. So I hear from a lot of parents of college graduates that they're not able to afford housing. And so really it's around a supply and demand issue along with not having enough. And so folks who are experiencing homelessness, it's because they're the most vulnerable. We relate it back to the musical chairs. So if you only have, if you have 10 people and 9 chairs, the person who's not going to get the chair is going to be the person who's the most vulnerable. And so that's why we're seeing so much homelessness in the county right now.
So you're saying that's because this is such a hot button issue right now, especially here in the city. That's the main reason. There's just not enough.
Correct.
So what are some solutions for that? How can people maybe support efforts to create more housing in the area?
So one of the things we're finding is that we need to create housing in every community in central Massachusetts and actually across the nation. And so supporting housing initiatives. So when a multifamily unit is going into your neighborhood is really to welcome that. We also know that we need to work on some of the rules that are in place, like around the permitting. It just takes way too long to get the permitting done. And then, so it's a lot more expensive when that happens. And the city of Austin was able to build 50,000 units of housing in 2 years, and the rent prices went down by 22%.
Wow.
So if we make the effort, we have the will to change our zoning, to change the rules, and streamline the permitting process, it'll help us to build more housing more quickly.
You also mentioned preventing homelessness. What are some things to do to help people prevent that from happening? I mean, there's so many different factors on why people don't have a home, but what are some of the things people can do for that?
So we have our rental assistance program. So folks who are behind in their rent, we're able to provide some assistance, financial assistance, so they can pay that rent. So many families right now are living paycheck by paycheck. And so with all the housing, the food costs that are going up, the rents that are going up, utilities, they're making choices between buying food and paying rent. And a lot of times it just takes the car to break down, someone going to work and their car breaks down, and they have that one additional expense. And once folks get behind, they can never catch up because they're already living paycheck to paycheck. So that's one of the things we provide is rental assistance to folks. Folks can donate to that as well, and just because we can take some of those dollars and with even sometimes it's only $600 or $1,000 that we can provide the rental assistance and keep folks in their homes.
And you don't only focus totally on homelessness. There's other stuff you do too. There's the capital campaign coming up here. Now, what's that all about?
Sure. So for the first time, we're purchasing a building and in partnership with the city of Worcester, and it's a day resource center. So it's a place for individuals who are experiencing homelessness to go during the day. So the city of Worcester has provided us $4 million. We've had the United Way, Greater Worcester Community Foundation, and a lot of private donors that have helped us to get us to our goal. So we have $7 million of a $10 million project. And so we're looking for an additional $3 million. That's our capital campaign. And what the Day Resource Center will do is, right on rainy days, a lot of times, folks need a place to stay dry, right? So especially when it's cold and rainy, I think we all get a little irritated when we're cold and wet. And so that folks can dry their clothes there, they can shower, they can get their mail, they can store their documents there, because a lot of folks who are living outdoors they don't have their documents. They get wet, they get smudged, the things that we wouldn't experience when we have a home.
Things we take for granted.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And right now, for the first time, so I've been doing this about 30 years, and for the first time we're seeing seniors who are unable to pay rent. So on their fixed income, they're no longer able to pay rent, and they're experiencing homelessness. They're living in their cars. It's the first time that we've ever seen this. There's no place for them to store medications, no place for them to be during the day. And so the Day Resource Center will also help our seniors that are first-time homeless And something that I don't think any of us ever expected, that when you're on Social Security and you have a fixed income, that you're still going to be at risk of homelessness. You've worked your whole life. But with the rents rising the way that they are, it's been a real challenge for folks. So the Day Resource Center not only will help the folks that are clients, but it also helps the businesses, right? Because the businesses are right now seeing folks that are in their doorways because they have no other place to go. And so folks can then go to the Day Resource Center instead of, being under a bridge trying to stay dry or in a doorway. And so it's really a great partnership, and it was the vision of the city to do this for probably 8 or 10 years now. I may be long on that, maybe 7 years, is really to think about how do we get folks a place where they can go, they can get access to services. We'll have kiosks where folks can do job interviews, confidential place to do job interviews. So if you think about experiencing homelessness, you also are not able to, you don't have an address, and you can't really apply for a job without an address. And then you have no place to do the interview. Same thing with looking at apartments. A lot of that's virtual now. So we'll give folks the opportunity to have those in a private space in the Day Resource Center.
Now, last I looked, there was it over 2,500 people homeless in Central Mass, and almost half of those I saw were children.
They are.
And so you guys are also doing a big toy drive for the kids also. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So their families are experiencing homelessness as well as individuals. And what we've found over the last several years is that we're having a lot more two-parent working families who are experiencing homelessness because the income that they have just is not enough. And then we also have folks who have a child who experiences an illness. So we have children that are going through chemotherapy for cancer, and a parent can't work during that time. Right? Every parent is going to put their child first. Yeah. And so somebody has to take them to the doctors. They have to take them to the appointments, have to make sure when they're home that they have the support that they need. So there's a lot of reasons. And so the folks that come to our shelter are typically, those are the types of families. Single female-headed households are a lot of what we see, along with now the working parents. And so for the holidays, what we try to do is we have about 1,200 children in our care. And so some of them are in their own apartment where we provide some stabilization services, and some of them are in our shelters. And we try to provide them a really nice holiday. So their families are struggling right now in paying utilities and food costs and all the other things that come with living in your own apartment. And so folks can do they can go to our website at cmhaonline.org. And they can adopt a child. They can give gift cards for teenagers. We all know that teenagers want to pick out their own gifts. Yeah. And or a cash donation, and then we can buy the gift cards for our families.
Nice. And give that address again where people can go online.
cmhaonline.org. So and that's where you can click on the holiday gift campaign.
And finally, I hear this all the time. I see it all the time. People saying, well, maybe you should get another job, or maybe you should just work harder, or maybe you shouldn't, maybe you should skip your avocado toast, or don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. What's a good answer for people like that?
So I think we go back to the folks who are working really hard, even working 2 jobs, that right now can't afford rent at the price that it is. And so in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment right now, I mean, you have to make almost $100,000 a year. And so to live in what would be not being rent burdened for that. Yeah. And, a lot of times folks will ask, or they're unsure what they can do about housing itself. So when a family or somebody says that there's hunger, like right now, folks are rallying around the SNAP benefits because folks are hungry. You can go out and you can buy groceries. But when you're talking about housing, folks don't know what to do about that. And, we're giving them an answer right now. First of all, you can make the holidays really special for our children, but also to donate to our capital campaign. That's for the Day Resource Center. And so you can go to our website, and that's really one of those ways. And it's going to help the entire community. And even any dollar amount is going to help us to get to our goal of being able to start construction hopefully in January, and then be able to open the Day Resource Center before it gets cold next fall.
Awesome. Well, Leah Bradley, thank you very much for taking the time. Let us know how to help folks out there.
Great, appreciate it.
Deal with homelessness. Leah Bradley from the Central Mass Housing Alliance. Can you give that address once again for people to go check out all the information they need to?
It's cmhaonline.org.
Okay, and that's where they can also donate for the toy drive and the
Absolutely.
capital campaign and all that stuff.
Yes.
Great. Leah, thank you so much for joining us this morning.